Dion, I always have believed that Dion is especially like he's not necessarily a genius, but he has always been kind of like I'm gonna say street smart because I can't think of a better adjective for it.
Uh, yeah, no, that's a fair assessment.
Yeah, you're a bit younger now, teenager. You already figure a bunch of stuff out. You've been out to the streets. You've met this cool kid named Dave. He's pretty cool. He's also massive. He's a friend of yours. And after some time, you obviously at some point were like, I don't really, I don't really look like my mom. But Tyler does. I mean, his hairs are purple, but that's weird. But he does look like her. And I do look like my dad. But like, hmm. And you kind of start to think about things and information from movies and TV tropes and school and this and that. And you think maybe your mom is not your mom. And you thought, okay, where could I find something related to who I am? And you think maybe the family, like, story area where they keep all the papers and all the books and stuff. That's my suggestion. Do you want to do something else?
No, that sounds perfect for a scene.
Alright. Do what you'd like.
It's definitely going to be trying to be quiet about it.
Yeah. Looking around, you can see that the door for Tyler's room is open, and he's playing on his phone, like laid on the bed. And you see that as he's playing on his phone, he does that thing where like his head's kind of sliding down the bed, and he has an angle to see you, and he kind of just waves his hand.
Dion just waves before continuing.
And he goes back to play on his game. Blue, maybe, I guess a tense song? I don't know. A slightly woo song, mysterious, I guess. Not sure how we're gonna find something like that, but good luck.
Yay.
Silence is also good, because this is not a normal vibe.
One moment while I get a song.
Don't worry, take your time. Dion, you start shuffling. And you're like, what the fuck? Do you think you would know kind of more or less what he could be looking like for, probably? Or he's kind of just randomly do it?
Well, this is a read on, Andrew here.
Mm-hmm.
The father.
Yes?
He feels like one person who would, like, either journal or have a collection of, like, his different travels. Like, books that he's picked up around there.
So, books that he wrote down about his travels and stuff?
Like, either books that he wrote down of his travels or things that he brought that would relate, like, from his trip from Brazil, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just, like, that'd be his initial line of thinking.
Yeah, you start looking around for those books. The first ones you find are from Brazil. There are about, like, all of them are books about the history of Brazil, and especially capoeira, the fighting style that he knows. You never really managed to get really good at capoeira, but you did get how the reflection stuff got, and you're pretty good at it. Relatively. And otherwise, you're kind of like, scrolling. You see that he traveled to a lot of places, actually. He traveled to Japan, he traveled to Africa at some point, he traveled to England. England? What the fuck? You never mentioned England.
Dion's definitely gonna focus on reading on the material for a trip that like that since Phil hasn't mentioned that before.
You grab the book of England, the English book, and it seems like normal stuff. A lot of it seems to be the history about the companies of how they evolved with the matter of the industrial revolutions, the first, second, and third ones. And it's really hard to pinpoint, mainly because you're young. But like, it's a bunch of boring names, and you're like, okay, this is hard. Until you notice that in the place that you took the book from, there is a few papers hidden, like all the way in the back of the bookshelf.
I'm just gonna go try to grab him if he can without bringing out any other books, or take out books so he doesn't knock any down. Try to still be quiet about it.
Give me a 1d6 plus 3.
Am I allowed to spend resolve?
Sure. Only once, though. 8. As you go to reach in, you pull out um, a couple of papers. The first one you pick up is like a bunch of boring fucking jargon shit as a weird form of contract. It seems like you've seen maybe once or twice the contracts that your dad has to be bodyguard. It's a little bit similar to those, but it's blah blah blah, blah blah blah, something something, Brando company, something something, whatever whatever, boring stuff. Doesn't matter. And then you pick up the second paper, and you see a letter that was typed out. I'm not gonna say exactly how the letter goes because I'm not a machine, so I'm gonna say what the general message is. If you ever bring that child to us ever again, I'm gonna show the world of your little funny past that you had. You raise him as your son and your son only, and you get the child away from my Brando. You are not related to this family, and nor is he. He's not part of this company. He's not part of this history. Out. Never again. That's the general vibes of this message. It is not written politely, it's not written formally, it's not written super rudely, but like that intent is very obvious. There is no marks of who made this at all. You can only guess that it's related to this Brando company considering it was mentioned twice.
If I might ask, just because how I assume the Brando company is still pretty big at this point.
Oh,
It's just
absolutely.
passing scene.
Yes, it is a gigantic in the market.
Uh, I was just gonna say if Dion could try to roll in case he's seen like any messaging on who might be like in charge of it, or any kind of info that he can just recall.
Well, you're trying to think, okay, who currently owns the Brando company? Have you ever heard a name like that? I can't. You're like, I can't think. And it's funny because as you're like, okay, Brando company, and you hear little footsteps coming in.
Dion hides the papers.
Dion, what are you doing?
Oh, just looking for something to read, honestly.
He looks at the hole that you took the paper from. Uh huh. Yeah, that's. He looks outside. He closes the door. What did you find?
Just one of Dad's old contracts.
Let me see it. And you see he goes into the hole where you took the book from, like you didn't put the book back, motherfucker. As he goes to reach in to try and reach out for the paper.
Oh,
Do you stop him at all?
yeah, gonna describe his arm of Here, let me grab it for you so I can like grab the right one. There's a couple other weirder ones.
What do you grab?
So you meant mentioned there was like the contract and then the letter.
Yes.
So Dion is going to grab the contract.
You grab the card, you hand it to him like, oh, Brando Company? Huh, that's a new one, or I guess old. The date of this is super old.
I just kind of found it weird that I was back there. So I was,
I'm gonna ask Dad about it, I'm curious. He's walking with the contract at hand to open the door!
uh, here, mind if I ask him about it first since I found it?
Hmm. Sure, but you gotta share with me what it is about.
No, I'll let you know. Just
You're lucky I paused my game, and he hands you the paper, and he walks back to his room. Like, I'm gonna discover it. Yeah, I found a secret. I found a secret. I found a secret. And he walks all the way to the back.
let's say Dion internalizing why he needs to. Just for the choking statement of why Dion uses Mirror Clone to hold the door shut in the last session. Internalizing that at this point.
Let me just. I grab you and I put you here.
Oh yeah, no, he's not doing that right now.
Oh.
That was more so me saying he thinks about that. It's like, no, that we should start doing that.
Yeah. So what do you do
Dion's gonna
now?
walk back, grab the other paper, the letter,
Mm-hmm.
kind of just move to the chair, read it a couple times, just trying to think it through on how to approach his father.
You're like, man, how do we talk about this? That's a weird paper. Brando? Am I a Brando? Is that it? I guess I'm a Brando. And eventually, someone walks at the door and opens it. Mm-hmm. Leon.
Yes?
He looks at the table. I assume the papers are on the table.
Yeah, no, Dion wasn't ready to hide it this time.
Please don't read the papers. Please don't read the papers. Please don't read the papers. He looks at the papers. Give me 1 second. He reaches out for You know when there's a table and there's a thing inside the table for to put stuff in? The fucking
A drawer?
a drawer. He reaches out, he pulls out a key. He doesn't lock the doors of his house at all, except for the outside one. So the first time ever you kind of see him kind of actually locking this, and it's like, all right. Kind of sits on his desk. He kind of puts a hand on his forehead, thinking about stuff. Okay, shoot the questions.
So what's this about?
You are my son, and I love you. Okay? Your mother, on the other hand, did not sympathize with the same feeling. I thought we had a thing going on, but I guess we didn't. And apparently, she didn't want anything to do with you. And one of her friends was kind enough to threaten me to just live with you very, very far away from her. It's not like death threats or something like that. Just like annoying contract stuff. Like I'm pretty sure she could block me from living in mid sea and stuff like that. Just force me to move somewhere else. And I don't want to deal with that. I like living mid sea. And that's the whole situation, Dion.
Who is she?
I cannot tell you that. I'm sorry. And honestly, for good, I now know what kind of person she is and what kind of people she's involved with. Dion, just I know you're probably thinking about, I burned the company, I probably deserve some of that or whatever. I know you've always been that type of kid, and it's not worth it. Okay, it's really not worth it. Just I politely ask you that forget everything about the Brandos. Just just leave as a Shaw. Leave as a Dion. Ignore them. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your time. Okay?
Yeah, just kind of gives a slight nod.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna hide those somewhere where you will never find again, hopefully, because I don't want to deal with this again, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna I'm not gonna watch cartoons with you today. My mood is a little bit ruined. You probably can understand why. I need some time
Oh,
off.
where he's let you know, Tyler saw the contract and was curious about it. He didn't see the letter.
Oh, I could just tell him it was a one-time job for a really dangerous thing. I mean, it's not wrong.
Okay, just want to warn you in case he asks.
Yeah,
Dion just kind of seems like processing but speaking. Like,
yeah, he grabs both the papers and kind of tucks it in his suit. I'm gonna be thinking about things in my office. If I guess you need me for something, you call me or something like that. Also, your stepmother, I guess you know about that now, knows about this. But I asked her politely to not talk about it very much, so so we are all aware. I didn't want to lie to her, especially since we were gonna live together. That's why she knows.
keep it in mind.
Mm-hmm. Dion, I want you to know that I love you. Okay? I love you very, very much. Even when I'm on a wheelchair, I would go out of my way to help you out, okay? Always remember that. Alright? And you see me kind of hug you in a way that, like, a little bit tight. You don't kind of get it why he is. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Kind of hugs you very tightly and kind of just lets you go, pats you on the shoulder. Alright, go play a game, I guess. And I guess tell your brother about the contract. If you want. Well, he asked about it, he's gonna bother you about it no matter what.
Yeah, but I'll make sure he doesn't worry about any of the other stuff.
Yeah, that would be nice. He lets out that sigh and sits down on the chair, looking at the chair blankly, and you close the door behind you. Dion, what's going through your head right now?
Just a lot. But he definitely is planning to try to look into Brando, see who's in charge, like big names. Try and just he wants to learn as much as he can, given the opportunity.
Yeah. As you do your research, you can move yourself to a room if you want. As you do your research, you pick a notebook or a cell phone, whatever you can have to have internet access, and you learn about a bunch of actual names. All of them weirdly starting with D, usually ending in O. It's a very weird pattern, and all of them are kind of like there's like quite a few Brandos, there is this weird pattern where they're all related to big companies, every single one of them. Um, every single one of them that you can research. Not all of them are as easy to find, and there's a bunch that you don't recognize immediately. Honestly, all you know is that you are a Brando, and that's about it. And yeah, we're gonna go to another place at the moment. Let me just change the scene a tiny bit. If you guys would allow me to just change the map. How are you guys enjoying the session?
I'm having a good time.
Ayo, ayo, baby time trauma.
Oh, well, that
I
happened.
love that we go. I love that literally 1 out of 2 people have had a normal kid interaction with their family.
Right?
I mean,
Well,
it's kind
well-
of telling to.
You say
I'm,
that. You say that, but capoeira is a great way to exercise, alright? And a kid could learn at a very young
Yeah, but
age.
normal capoeira dancers / fighters don't usually spawn people out of their body.
You say that, but Steven is a fucking vampire. What is normal about that?
Yeah, I said 1 out of 2.
I think he was talking about
Why do you think I was
John, if I
talking
had
about
to
Steven?
guess.
What made you think I thought Steven was normal?
Look,
Yeah.
here's the thing. Steven is still the most concerning out of all the scenes. And that is saying something with that last scene.
You know,
So
what
far.
the fuck? Casual killing shit? What the fuck? Bro, what the fuck?
I don't know what you mean.
Bro, what the fuck?
I'm glad we
How
both
is
knew
he
where we were
supposed to
going.
get blood?
Yeah, this scene is gonna be a little bit different. Hey Blue, I'm gonna send you a DM of what I want.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, you prepare for that, but don't post it just yet. Don't change the music just yet. Just prepare, as I will make a new
I
pickle
have to
just
send
for
Penny something
this.
first.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Oh god.
correct.
Uh, oh god, to be able to make this. Oh, I found it. Yes. Oh, I'm a genius. Okay, I'm gonna make a pickle real quick, and you guys wait, and you guys discuss all the session. How much fun are we having, guys?
I did not. For context for both viewers, if you keep this part in, Diamond, and for the players,
Oh, I am.
I have been only told what I need to know.
Yeah, no, Dion's fun and definitely had a fun life.
Definitely. I wonder what could possibly inspire him to find answers. I'm sure he has no reason to.
Can I make this note of I find it so funny of Diamond like wording like you think maybe possibly somehow that your mom is maybe not actually your mom. Me sitting
Yeah.
there looking at his fucking face. You don't fucking say.
I'm looking at his
I look
eyes.
at his dad, I look at his mom. The math may check out, but we have to send it to the labs. Fucking
Got
checks out an
those-
abacus. Oh my god! I'm adopted!
Look, somehow black and purple ended up with Wand. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
Recessive genes and all that.
Yeah, it's a brain!
Yeah.
High five.
High five.
Also, I'm surprised Diamond didn't bring out one of the many like actual dishes of blood that you can like safely consume.
Oh, do you really think I would dare to pull such a weak stunt?
Yes.
Plus weak,
Like
like,
stunts such as research.
consumption.
That is a pathetic choice. I would never choose something so weak.
To be fair, in that reasonability, I'd be surprised if they were eating something edible.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Also, what the fuck do you mean he's a pillar man? What?
I'm just a
Looks just a
pillar. I don't know what
pillar.
you're talking about.
It's just a pillar. Don't worry about it.
What the fuck do you mean he's a pillar man?
What in God's
I'm
name?
not. I don't. I'm a pillar. I don't know what a pillar man is.
I am a rock. I'm
an
an
island.
island.
Yeah, exactly. You get it.
I am a rock.
Steven is just a pillar of the community. I don't see the problem.
Yeah, I help out a lot. My family is a
fucking-
part of the neighborhood
you're
watch.
You're fucking 5 or 50. I don't know how pillar man age work.
Yeah, good question.
He wasn't 14, at least.
You
I
know
mean,
that.
of all people, Steven still like human lengths of age.
Yeah,
Just have to go to the background remover because I refuse to have this
like
background
to
now
be
removed.
fully transparent. Steven is very young for a vampire.
Yeah.
He's
And it's the
maybe.
same kind of shenanigans as an elf, where it's like, an elf can just be, like, 18, and they are still 18. Like, appearance-wise.
True.
Like,
True.
they just stop immediately afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Wait, Diamond, was the song I sent you good?
yes.
Understand?
Just give me a hot second because I'm almost done. All right. You get out of the map. I don't like you.
Rude.
Hey, you can, if you so wish, my fellow co-GM, to change the song.
Understandable. I am sure that only good things will happen with this music in the playlist.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
I want you to guess what happened.
Really that hard of a guess?
Not really, but I want you to say it.
Can I describe something then if I'm just gonna say my guess?
Sure.
John, at this current age, has been feeling a fucking downward spiral ever since he heard it. And the fucking voices of his teddy bears that used to be filled with childlike wonder has gone silent as he's just crying into both of their backsides. Just real.
I'm
She's
gonna.
still here. I don't care. She's still here. And he's just having a real fucking bad time with it.
I'm going to give you a few pieces of information about this whole ordeal. It was the beginning of the summer, and for you to have a little bit of more fun time, just to move on from the normality of life, you went to spend a week with your uncle at his super cool island, at his mansion. They have cattle there, cows. They eat their own food there. It's super cool.
Yeah, Uncle Josh. He's so cool.
But then one day, Josh was like, hey, I'm going to go back to my island real quick. And you know what? You're going to stay here for a whole month. It's going to be awesome. He looked absolutely normal. He was happy. He was fine. He's like, I'm going to go back to the island because I have some secret mafia shit to deal with. You just vibe out of here, okay? It'll be real quick. I'll be fine. And, he leaves for a while. Robert probably spends time with you instead. Robert is a blast. You spend a full-on month on the island. Josh come back eventually. And one day, when you are on the island, With Josh, who's not wearing on his hat, he has his hat on holding it on his chest. You see, accompanying him, your dad. Your dad does not look very happy right now. And he handed you the information that your mom had died. She was involved in a very, very horrible car accident, to the point that her face and body was not recognizable. It was very horrible. I'm gonna ask you this question, John. Do you think the scene happens before or after the funeral?
I got my brain wants to say after.
Yes. This is after the funeral. You went to the room immediately. You're kind of just crying out loud. And as you're crying, you're trying to say, "Oh, she's here, she's here." On the outside of your door, Tekon holds up his hand to knock on it. He goes for it and stops, and pulls back. Goes for it, stops, pulls back. Goes for it, stops, pulls back. He swallows dry. Goes for it, stops, goes back. Goes for it, stops, goes back. He does it 100 times. He lost count. He doesn't know how many times he's trying to knock on this door. And then he looks at his own hand, shaking. In fear. And John, you hear a thud on the other side of your door, and a slide as Tekon sits on the outside of your door. And very rarely you kind of hear like some sniffs of air, as if someone was crying.
Yeah.
But
John,
that's about it.
for clarity's sake, as he swivels the door open very slightly, is at the current time just like laying on his side, facing the wall, hugging his plushies, and just like hears that, just like immediately starts trying to like wipe his eyes and just like try and like just like the feeling of trying to stop like noises, but there's still peeps every now and then, just like come in.
I'm not sure I want to. You hear there very quietly. On the outside of your door, and he stays silent.
For the record, John is still facing the wall. He has not turned to look at the door.
And your father has not turned to open the door. He's just sitting with his back on it.
John just like kind of sits there, like in the silence. It's fucking deafening. Thoughts are going every which way. It's taking all of his willpower to like even hold back the tears that he can, and he's still failing.
It is a really, really tough situation. It is really sad. Eventually, you hear this stomp, stomp, stomp outside of your door, and you kind of hear you start to hear a muffled talk, like kind of a talk outside, and you're not sure what is happening. and you hear thump 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 pass through your door, and you don't hear this time because, contrary to the Roll 20, the walls are thick enough to hide regular walks here, but almost like he knew exactly where you were. Tack on the other side of this wall just quietly weeps with his hands on the wall, and well, I put it the wrong person on the GM layer. And John, someone knocked on the door, meanwhile.
Once again, holding on to tears. Just like, come in.
Now let me just... I did not give this motherfucker an icon without the hat. I'm an idiot.
Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Opening the door. Hey, big man. I closed the door behind him.
Hi. Is that you, Uncle?
Yeah. I know my brother very well, and I believed that he would not have the courage to look at you in the eyes.
Still facing wall, still facing wall.
And considering you are not looking my way, I'll assume you are very similar to him. So instead, I'll sit on the ground and look the other way. And he does exactly that.
Alright.
Yeah, Rain said that she is sorry for your loss. And obviously she couldn't show up to the funeral, differently from everyone else, but yeah, just wanted to deliver that message because she said she didn't feel right by sending that via cell phone.
Nice of her.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
It's nice of her.
Yeah, she's great. She's so nice. And, yeah. A man with 1,000 tricks doesn't know how to comfort someone that is crying. Anyway, sorry about that. I just talk to myself in situations like these.
His breath is fucking heavy. I don't know if it picked up on mic, but it's definitely like the fucking stuttery breath, and
Yeah, it didn't
I don't know if y'all know that kind of feeling of like when needing to steady your emotions to kind of keep them down. That kind of thing of like it takes all your like your fucking brain function to the point where you start to run out of oxygen to the brain, so you start breathing heavy.
Hey, John. So, I already told you many stories, and I'm a very experienced person. I am not a medic by any means of it, right? That's gonna be you, or I don't know, a pill doctor or whatever. But one thing I know from experience is that you should not be breathing that way. I know a guy that is really good at breathing. That is not the right way you should do it. Now, before you start controlling your breath, don't even try. Okay, don't even try. Just breathe normally. Go on. Ignore your breath. What I want you to do instead is to stop holding back, and I want you to cry your eyes out. Let everything out. Okay? Your dad was raised in a highly... I escaped our family, but your dad was raised by very religious parents, and very strict ones at that, and thanks to that, he now is afraid of showing a few emotions. Your mother was good at taking those stupid family locks from him, but now he's obviously going to go back into those horrible habits, but I don't want you... I suggest, okay, you can go do that if you want, but I suggest heavily that you Don't do that. Let everything out. Let yourself feel sad. Let yourself feel angry. Let yourself feel frustrated. Let yourself feel. Okay, John? Is that alright? He's not looking at you, okay? He's just looking to the side.
He hears that, and these words, they flow into John's ears. He processes them, and it almost feels wrong. He's in good company. His emotions are his own. He shouldn't. But mom, and it's so fucking hard, and it's just all of these emotions become blaring out. It already started once he said to try and do normal breathing. His brain wanting to default back to letting out all the emotion, but he kept it down. And the moment, like, he hears just fucking let it roar and that it's okay from his uncle, it's fucking ungodly. It's the loudest ugly cry you could probably imagine for a teen his size. And it just, he like actually turns to like face his uncle, jumps off the bed, and actually fucking like wraps his arms around his neck in a hug because he feels he needs to be comforted by a real human right now.
Yeah, the moment you let out the first...
He's gone!
The moment you left out the first crowd, he heard the bed and he spits out at the same time and just hugs you back. And obviously you can see it, but the hat is looking very sadly at you. And it's like, yeah, I know. It's sad, it sucks ass, it's horrible, it fucking sucks. It's shit. Yeah. Yeah.
His breath's like, it's stable, but he clearly isn't.
I'm sure you'll be fine, okay? But it's alright to feel like this and now, okay? It's alright to feel sad, it's alright to feel all this. Just let it out. Just hug me as long as you need it. Just go all out. Do you want to do anything else, John?
You know, this might be weird for you,
Alright.
Diamond.
Okay.
But we mentioned this character like once when we were talking about John's younger days. But can I get John's like self-proclaimed pink-haired best friend to show up for this? Because I feel like she would.
Oh, motherfucker, you bet! You bet! I don't have her at the row 20! Give me a hot second.
Get her. She'd absolutely show up for this. Come on, man.
She'd show up for this. In fact, she did show up at the funeral. I do not have a black suit for her, so you're gonna have to deal with her icon. Oh wait, you want the... Wait, question. Which pink-haired one? Because I have like 2 of them.
The one that kept him safe from Kevin.
Oh, okay, it's that one. Good. I really hope her icon is not
Yeah.
gigantic.
Hey gamers, a shout out to Penny to making me IRL cry. I am totally not having a good time right now.
I am
Affectionate.
very well in tuned with being fucking depressed AF.
Bro, same.
Alright, let me just give me... And eventually, I assume John has a limit for how long he can spend that many tears and sadness.
Yeah, it definitely dies off. Although John's like mood certainly doesn't.
Oh, absolutely not.
It certainly did help though.
I assume you're kind of just sitting on the bed, maybe whipping, maybe already past that point, with your uncle there.
Yeah,
And
it's more like few peeps every now and then, but like he's a bit more stable now.
yeah, so someone is uh no, Blue, I refuse to do so.
And well, in that case, I will be RB.
Yeah. So, John, not sure if you remember her name. Probably don't. Her name is this one.
Kinda Takumi. Okay.
She is a badass that literally kicked kids like way bigger than her when she was a kid. Apparently she's like a natural talent at like martial arts or whatever, and she's badass. And she shows up at your front door, and she is wearing a black outfit, obviously not showing her belly or anything. She's 100% like straight. And he's like,
Yeah.
"Hi, hey, yo, Jodes."
Here's that almost like goes wide-eyed. Oh, he kind of like still wiping his eyes, but I didn't think I'd see you today.
Yeah, so like, I thought to myself, hey, I can go home and have a horrible mood for the rest of my day, or I can go to Jones' home and have a horrible mood for the rest of my day with him, you know? And I weighed my options, and I thought, company is better than nothing. Because I'm not in a good mood with my parents as well, so yeah, blah.
I like chuckles a bit when he hears that. You're looking for hope, and you're in the right place.
Yeah. You see, she kind of just looks at Josh. Josh looks at her. He's like, good friend. Very good friend.
Yeah, she's really nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very nice. He goes and whispers to her ear something, and she's like, oh, what the fuck? Yep. Have fun, you two. I now need to help out the second Vonnegut to cry his feelings out. He's not gonna cry anything out. He's a sturdy bastard.
John saw that, wants to like make a note of what just happened, but he does not have the energy to be suspicious of his uncle today.
Yeah, he's like, oh.
John like pats the bed a bit.
Yeah. She sits by your side. Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah. John like doesn't know what to do in this instance. Like he doesn't know if he should talk about it, change the subject, lighten the mood.
Oh,
he's lost.
I'm gonna be honest with you, John. I don't know if I should talk about it or change the subject to lighten the mood. I'm kind of lost here.
I start chuckling. He's something saying what I'm thinking.
What? I'm saying what I'm thinking. You stop copying me.
You stop copying me.
You stop copying me. You little girl-looking little bitch.
I don't look like a girl.
You definitely do, and you look adorable.
Thank you?
Yes, thank me, because I'm awesome. Look at these guns. And instead of flexing her arms, she flexes her leg. The pants is on the way, so you can't really see anything, but she does something.
John, like, doesn't need to assume he has seen her and pout and like in motion before. It's like, I know you're very strong, but whatever.
Yeah, I am.
Very embarrassed after being called girly. Oh, girly. Very manly.
You are very manly. She's definitely sarcastic.
Shut up, I am.
Oh, say that in a deeper voice and maybe I will believe you. Aww.
Bastard!
I need to put you in a skirt and I swear to God, everyone will think you're a girl.
Well, his face gets fucking tomato, just like, no, you will not be doing that!
Okay, address.
No!
What? I'm trying to prove a point here.
I don't want you to prove your point.
Oh, so you're saying you believe me, huh? So you're saying I'm right.
No!
Oh, so you were gonna put a dress and
Kana
everyone's gonna be
instantly fucking exposed moment like he know he would, and he's trying so hard to deny it.
I win, hey, little girly boy.
Shut up! And he kind of like socks her in the arm. It does not hurt at all.
She sucks you in the arm. Ow.
Oh,
Ow.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Superman strength. Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, but you know what? I came up with a plan. Instead of just forcing us to talk about shit, we're just gonna talk about whatever the fuck comes up on our heads, and then we're gonna see what happens from there.
Yeah. I don't mind that. I think. Yes, I think you're gonna. Yes, I think that's already happening, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'll be honest. I don't know. I don't know what we would talk about anyway. About what just happened, but yeah.
John, like, doesn't say it out loud or makes any note of it, actually, but, like, in his head, he can almost hear, like, his mother's voice playing back over and over and over again, and swears to God sometimes when he turns the corner, he can see her looking at him, and it's just, he's like, do I even bother to bring it up? And it's getting, that's happening, and it's getting especially hard to try and force his brain to think about anything else.
Hey, John. Question.
Yeah.
What are you looking at? She says this, by
Just
the
like,
way. She looks at him like, "What are you staring at?" Because like you keep looking at over there nonstop.
yeah, I think it's definitely, once it's brought to his attention, it's just like looking there and then just looking away instantly, like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my God! You cried your eyes out on your plushies. She immediately changes subject. Jesus Christ! These guys are wet. My God.
Kind of looks. Yeah.
Looks like you doused them on the sink. Did you give
Guess
them a
so.
bath? Left them out in
John's
the
like,
rain? Look at this.
John's like sunken like bag eyes from how much he cried. Just like, shut up. Gets closer, just like
You just
John almost starts panicking.
you try to look away, but you almost feel the touch of her hands, soft, calming, beautiful, moving your face towards her, and your eyes are magnetized to her eyes as she looks at you and says,
Breath gets
"I
sharp.
love you." Okay.
And John thought he had no more, but God, does he want to cry right now?
I'ma go, and you take care of yourself and your dad.
Please don't go.
Nah. I need you. It's kind of needed when you die. Don't worry about it. Look, we're gonna meet up eventually. Meanwhile, you prove to her that you're really manly. She winks at you, and she disappears from your sight.
Joking at a time like this. And he starts like wiping his eyes again.
Kana just puts an arm around your shoulder, and it's not really looking at you. Kind of leans her head on your head without looking at you.
Like, does that, like, it's like a fucking snapped back moment. Like, oh, right. My world isn't just me envisioning my mother.
Yeah, she does that and doesn't say anything.
Can I hug you?
What?
Can I hug you? I just need a hug right now.
Oh, absolutely. Come on, hug. Yeah.
Just like hugs. It doesn't feel real, Kana.
Yeah, I can't say I relate, but I can try to empathize.
I'm sorry, this must be so much for you also.
It is pretty sad. I honestly don't feel like saying it's too much for me considering what you're going through right now, you know?
John's like, what do you mean? You have to deal with me. It's a lot worse. Doesn't vocalize that, just like, guess so.
Yeah, you're going through a lot right now, buddy. Don't worry, that's fine.
Sorry, I'm so fucking pathetic right now.
Oh, please. Everyone has a pathetic side. Don't feel special about it.
How dare you? Like, hug gets tighter.
Yeah, you haven't seen me cry when I lost my first tournament. I didn't win everything, you know. It was not a good time.
Yeah. Like, very softly as he's starting to wear out his voice. It's surprised only kicking in now. Like,
Yeah.
I was starting to think you were some sort of perfect human being.
I'll be honest, I think you're crying so hard I cannot understand your words right now, so like, I'm gonna keep hugging you, and you're gonna cry your eyes out, and I'm gonna just stay here with you, and you know, we're gonna vibe out.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,